Hello, hello. Thank you all for coming. My name is Ty, aka Titan Inc. As I go on Twitter, I'm pretty active on Twitter, so if you want to follow me, it's right there at Titan Inc. So today we're going to be talking about NFT utility. This is a very common sort of topic discussed recently, especially now that NFTs are sort of going into what I would call phase 2. And so, yeah, we're just going to talk about a lot of different use cases today. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So again, my name is Ty, but I go as Titan Inc. Or Titan.eth these days because that's cool for Web3 purposes, right? I've had the opportunity to do a lot of traveling. I've been to a lot of conferences. I've done this speech quite a few places, actually. I did it 3 weeks ago in Istanbul, about a few more weeks ago in Miami, so it's pretty fun. But yeah, we actually started a company called Nifty Labs about late 2020, and essentially what we do is we build NFT technology, and we'll get into one of those products that we've actually launched recently. So some products that paved the way for use cases in general. It's very important to note that CryptoPunks really sort of created the idea behind pseudonymous identity. Being able to use your NFT as your profile picture, right? But beyond that, it's also very cool because you can use it as sort of like a digital flex, if you will. A really cool way of actually just representing yourself on social media and showing like what part of, or what club or membership you're a part of without really saying anything at all. And then of course, Kitties in 2017, they're most famous for breaking the blockchain. If you're familiar with that era, in 2017, the Ethereum blockchain got so congested that it was unusable and the gas fees were crazy. But they sort of incorporated this idea of, collectibles, right? Where you can actually sort of, take these little collectibles, you could breed them, you can make new collectibles. Wasn't a whole lot of use cases for them, but it was cool, it was fun. And of course, a lot of you know about Axie Infinity, the play-to-earn model. This is very popular now, being able to create a game, and in that game you can have all these different token economies, whereas, you have fungible token economies and even NFTs as the items and characters within those games. So very famous for creating the play-to-earn model. And of course, blockchain gaming is exploding because of that. So, and of course, the last, but definitely not the least, the iconic Web3 brand, Bored Ape Yacht Club. They're most famous for really tying a lot of culture to NFTs and sort of like the membership of these NFT collections. So, there's also other projects that have come out and created their own culture. I think recently there was, actually just last night or the night before, Doodles released like Doodles 2 and the whole trailer and everything, so a lot of you probably saw that. And that's a whole, other side of culture that's being created with these NFT collections, so it's really cool. So the most important metric that you should really take from NFTs right now is we're really at the peak, or at least close to the peak. NFTs were about $22 billion in market cap. But in 2020, the market cap was about $315 million. And that's about a 2,400+% year-over-year growth, which is pretty awesome. It's pretty insane, actually. And this is really just the start. We're about 2 years into some like really high growth for NFTs in general. And so this is just the beginning. So, as I was mentioning, some of the things that are really helping NFTs boom right now is, the digital identity, the play-to-earn models, and even more recently, event access. Being able to use your NFTs to get into events. A lot of you are probably experiencing that with, some side events around the conference lately. This is going to be a very, common theme moving forward. It just makes sense, being able to use your sort of membership NFT, right, or your NFT in general, to be able to get into those events that are being thrown by the community. But of course, beyond that, play to earn, digital identity. Of course, we've seen, athletes, celebrities, all, sort of represent their own NFTs. Lots of doodles, lots of Bored Apes, lots of CryptoPunks, and there'll be many, many more in the future. It's just a really cool way to show your support for a collection and also sort of like flex a little bit. People like that, right? So some of the new use cases, though, and there's many that are being explored, are like supply chains, medical records, identity information, real estate. One of the coolest things, I think, and this is something that's been tried before but hasn't been that successful, is tokenization of real estate. But if you're watching the news recently or on Twitter or anything like that, you will note that there's a lot of actual real estate being sold through NFTs. Now, sometimes successfully, sometimes not so successfully, depending on the logistics of that sale. But for the most part, we're all exploring the ability to actually tokenize real estate, which I definitely think is something doable. It's going to take more time with the regulations and things like that, but we'll get there. And supply chains are definitely being explored, being able to sort of use proof of existence, tying different item IDs or items in general, whether physical or even digital, right, in like games, to actual NFTs, and being able to sort of know everything about that particular item and its history through the tracking of that NFT. And some of the other things like voting, of course, metaverse, gaming, academic credentials. Samsung University is going to be giving NFTs or their resumes as NFTs to a lot of their graduates. So that's going to be pretty cool. Voting, that would be dope if you could just have an NFT represent your sort of voting privileges and be able to just use an app, log in with that app, prove the ownership of that NFT, and be able to vote. That would be great, huh? We'll see. And then, of course, ticketing, intellectual property, and patents. All of this stuff is actively being explored currently. So some of the main things right now in terms of like expected trajectory for NFTs, I think the coolest thing is really music NFTs. It's actually pretty hot right now. A lot of people are talking about that. Being able to sort of like take the licensing of songs themselves and sort of fractionalize the ownership through the sale of NFTs. Now, you can obviously do this one of two ways. You can sort of do it in one-of-ones, or you can fractionalize it beyond that and sort of allocate a percentage, so to speak, to each NFT for the licensing of that song. Obviously, democratization of art, being able to sort of bypass the traditional gatekeepers of art, whether that is sort of like through the art galleries themselves, or sort of just being able to be able to make your own metaverse gallery, for example, of your NFT art. That's all possible with NFTs right now. And it definitely just makes people's lives a lot easier. And then the cool thing that's being explored as well is like AR, VR applications. So imagine being able to sort of like in a Pokemon Go style, take your mobile app around, sort of scan some vicinities, maybe some parks, and find NFTs that you might be able to use for monetization purposes or access, whatever that might be. So there's a lot of different capabilities. So actually, I mentioned earlier that we ourselves have worked on NFT technology at Nifty Labs. One of our most recent products is Social Pass, and the idea is very simple. We'd like to be like the Eventbrite of Web3. So being able to prove the ownership of NFTs, get a QR code ticket for that, of course, then take it to the event to get scanned. There will be more nuanced features for event organizers to be able to monetize effectively, and also better experiences for the users, but on a base level, that is what we do. And that's it. That's a 10-minute talk, and if you guys want to follow us at Nifty Labs, you can scan the QR code, learn more about what we do, and like I said, if you want to follow me at Titan Inc., I'll follow most of you back if I can on Twitter, and we can just sort of go from there. So thank you all. Appreciate it.